The Chicago Bears take on the Cleveland Browns this Sunday in Cleveland. Can the Bears win this game and keep their hopes of a miraculous playoff run alive? Watch this video to hear my thoughts. The NFL season may be winding down, but there's still plenty of time to get in on the action. I've actually partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL, to give you guys a great promotion for new customers, where if you don't have an account with them yet, download the app. The link is in my description box in the pinned comment as well. And if you sign up using promo code DaWindyCity, if you put $5 in any wager on the app, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly. It's that easy. And if you already have an account with them, like I do, they have something for you guys as well. They have something called No Sweat Bets, which is where you can put a same game parlay or same game parlay X wager, and you can actually get the money back in the form of a bonus bet if your wager does not end up hitting. Now, max reward limits do apply for that, so keep that in mind, but it's a great promotion to take advantage of if you already have an account with DraftKings Sportsbook. And in regards to the same game parlay, the same game parlay X, I think those are really fun ways to take advantage of watching the NFL, because you can combine a bunch of different bets in a single game or across multiple games in the case of same game parlay X, and turn a small wager into potentially large winning if all the things you predicted to happen actually end up happening. So a lot of fun for sure. And if you're not located in a state where sports betting is legal right now, they also have something called DraftKings Daily Fantasy, which is a little bit different, but you can also have a lot of fun using that app as well. So download the app, guys. The link is in my description box in the pinned comment as well. If you sign up using promo code DaWindyCity, if you put $5 in any wager on the app, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly, only on DraftKings Sportsbook. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears pregame prediction video, which I'll be doing before every single Bears game this year. So subscribe to my channel if you guys want my thoughts before and after each Bears game. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the Bears are only one win out of the final wildcard spot. With how bad the season has gone, I cannot believe we actually have something to play for in December. These are going to be meaningful games now down the stretch, because the Bears have an actual chance to make the playoffs. If we win out, we have a 67% chance of making the playoffs. So it's not guaranteed, but 67% is pretty damn good, okay? The fact that that chance even exists. And even if we do lose one game, if we lose this game against the Browns, there still are ways in which the Bears can make the playoffs, but the best way to make it in obviously is going to be by winning out. And that is obviously going to be a tall task. We have some tough games against the Browns, for example, this game, the Packers the last week, which is going to be pretty difficult. We can never beat the Packers, and, you know, Falcons also are a pretty decent team this year. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but the fact that we have an actual chance to make it in just makes me so damn excited. Seeing the Bears in the hunt in December, it's been a long time. So yeah, this team has completely turned it around, guys. Like, I cannot believe, like, Matt Eberflus now actually has a legit case to stay next year with how he's turned around the defense, with how these guys are fighting for him. Montez Sweat talked about the culture the Bears are building. He said it was much better than the culture he came from, the Commanders culture, in which he said everybody has already checked out. Everybody's waiting for the season to be over. But he said here in Chicago, that was not the case, okay? So it's been a complete change of fortunes for the Bears on this 2-game winning streak. It very easily could have been a 3-game winning streak if we did not choke against the Lions in that first game. But yeah, we have a chance to make it in. This game is going to be absolutely crucial. And talking about this game, guys, Justin Fields is going to be returning to the place where he made his debut as the starting quarterback of the Bears, a game which I've tried to erase from my memory because it was that freaking bad. Okay, Justin Fields got sacked 9 times in that game. I believe Myles Garrett had like 6 of them. Justin Fields finished the game with like less than 75 passing yards or something like that. So it was a terrible, terrible first start for Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears. It's going to be returning to the place where that terrible start happened in Cleveland. So I guarantee you, man, Justin Fields is going to have revenge on his mind. He's going to, you know, remember what happened last time, and he's going to try to make sure that does not happen again. And obviously the Bears have a much better supporting cast now around him, as opposed to that last time we played against the Browns, in which we had, I believe, Jermaine Ifedi at right tackle. We had really bad players in the interior as well. Like Tevin Jenkins was injured, early that year. So like, we didn't have a good offensive line back then. We did not have DJ Moore, obviously. Cole Kmet is not as good as he is now. So it's definitely a better supporting cast now, and hopefully we're not going to see a repeat of what happened last time. But this Browns defense still is pretty damn elite. It's going to be the toughest defense the Bears have went up against so far this year. But The Bears got a little bit lucky with a rash of injuries hitting the Browns at the same exact time. Okay, in the last couple days, the Browns have lost all these players to season-ending injuries. Offensive tackle Jedrick Willis, offensive tackle DeJuan Jones, defensive tackle Maurice Hurst, safety Grant Delpit, defensive end Agbonia Okoronkwo, and obviously you guys know they already lost Deshaun Watson, their starting quarterback. They also lost Nick Chubb, their star running back. They also lost Jack Conklin, their other starting offensive tackle. So they're going to be down to their offensive tackle number 3. Not even number 3, that was DeJuan Jones. So offensive tackle number 4 and number 5. And, you know, a bunch of backups in other positions too. They got a backup quarterback, Joe Flacco, who, you know, Joe Flacco's been pretty good as of late. But still, okay, it's not going to be the same Browns team that was elite coming into this year. They still have a lot of talent, obviously, but they are missing a lot of guys. So hopefully the Bears can take advantage of those missing guys. But talking about the Browns, guys, we'll be breaking down both sides of the ball for them and talking about their offense. First of all, they rank number 12 in points scored per game, number 18 in yards gained per game, number 23 passing attack, and number 7 run game. And the biggest thing here to talk about is their starting quarterback, Joe Flacco. Okay, he has been pretty good the last 2 games. You know, last game he had a very good stat line in totality, starting for the Browns in 2 games. He has 565 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions in those 2 starts. He's been getting the ball out super quick. He's been making quick decisions. He's been accurate with the football in all parts of the field. I think the system really is good for him because they run the ball pretty well too. So the run game definitely helps him out. And Joe Flacco is a veteran with a lot of experience in this league. So he knows how to beat the blitz. He knows how to beat pressure quickly. And he's won a Super Bowl in the past. Now he is obviously pretty old. He's not very mobile in the pocket. So I think the backup tackles being in here is another big storyline we got to talk about because their backup tackles, guys, are Jaron Christian and James Hudson III, which I'm willing to bet the average fan has not heard of any of those names. Both are ranked by PFF as pretty poor tackles. I mean, when you're down to your offensive tackle 4 and 5, you know, they're obviously not going to be like great players. Now, the Browns do have a good offensive line system, a good offensive line coach, which is, you know, really help them have good quality backup offensive line depth, but these are not even like backups. These are third stringers, right? So I would think the Bears edge players, you know, their pass rush, which has been on fire lately, would be able to take advantage of these backup guys, especially in pass protection, okay? With the immobile quarterback, there could be opportunities to get instant pressure on the quarterback, and Joe Flacco will have nowhere really to go. But their run game could definitely help them out a lot because they do have a very strong run game even without Nick Chubb. They added Kareem Hunt, obviously, in the middle of the season. He's been pretty decent, but they also got Jerome Ford, who has 698 yards on the season, and he's been, you know, an all-purpose back for them, catching the ball, too, out of the backfield. Pretty shifty guy, pretty powerful. He has a good mix of, like, power and shiftiness, and behind a pretty good Browns interior offensive line, he can definitely run up the middle, those inside zone type of plays, and you know, punish the Bears defense over time. So the run game definitely is strong here with the Cleveland Browns. They're going to be looking to run the football a lot probably in this game at times, especially with the backup tackles on the outside. And they obviously got, you know, weapons like Amari Cooper, who, you know, Amari Cooper is one of the better route runners in the NFL. So they definitely do have some playmakers here. They have a veteran quarterback, but I would be worried about those backup offensive tackles if I was a Browns fan in this game. But talking about the Browns defense now, they are really, really good on this side of the ball. Obviously, they rank number 14 in points allowed per game, number 1 in yards allowed per game, number 1 passing defense, and number 11 run defense. And you guys know already they have an absolutely stacked pass rush. Okay, probably the best defensive line in all of football, even after losing Maurice Hurst, who's one of their better interior defensive linemen. Even after losing him, they have so many guys here on this team. And it obviously starts with Myles Garrett, a guy who, in my opinion, is the best pass rusher in the NFL. A guy that has so much power to his frame, so much, you know, athleticism too, so much speed. In the last game, he absolutely destroyed our tackles and destroyed Justin Fields as well. So he has 13 sacks on the year. I wonder how the Bears are going to game plan for him. Hopefully Luke Getsy has a better game plan against Myles Garrett than Matt Nagy had back in 2021. Hopefully Cole Kmet is being used as a blocker. Hopefully we use our fullback too and just find ways to help out our tackles in this game, because I'm not trusting, a rookie tackle. Even though Darnold Wright has been amazing, you cannot leave him on an island with Myles Garrett, and same goes with Braxton Jones as well, okay, with how good these players are. And they also got other guys too. Zadarius Smith, who us Bears fans are familiar with, being in the NFC North before, and his pressure numbers are really high this year. He has a high PFF pass rush grade of 77, so he's another guy that can get to the quarterback pretty quickly, a pure pass rusher. They got guys in the interior of that defensive line like Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris. I mean, they got so many damn guys on this defensive line. They also got Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah, JOK on the outside at linebacker, also rushing the passer on occasion, being an all-purpose weapon on this defense. So their front seven is absolutely freaking stacked. It's going to be the Bears offensive line's biggest challenge up to this point this year, okay? If the Bears' young offensive line can handle this veteran stacked Browns defensive line, I would be extremely impressed. And obviously the play calling has to help out the Bears offensive line here. I'm not putting them into too many third and long situations where this pass rush can just rush the passer and get home to the quarterback quickly with how good they are. And talking about the Browns secondary, they have been the best pass defense in the NFL up to this point. They obviously are helped out a lot by how good the pass rush is, but they're a very disciplined and scrappy secondary. They have guys like Greg Newsome out of Northwestern. They got Denzel Ward, obviously the Ohio State product. They also got Martin Emerson with 4 interceptions on the year. So they play very, very good football. They're very, fundamentally sound, it seems like, on film when you watch their games. And it's going to be a very, very tough defense to pass against with how good their pass rushers are and with how good the players are in that secondary. Now, losing Grant Delpit definitely does, hurt them to some extent, but they have a lot of other guys, too, that can definitely fill in and, probably still be pretty good. But talking about the Chicago Bears now, I'll talk about their offense first of all, and they rank number 20 in points scored per game, number 21 in yards gained per game, number 26 passing attack, number 4 run game. And the big thing about this Bears offense is that they can start out games very, very well. Okay, Luke Getsy's early game script for the first drive of the game almost always is money, okay? I saw a stat that in the last 2 years, the Bears actually ranked top 5 in opening drive touchdown percentage. That's how good we are at scoring when we first get the ball on that opening drive. Now, the problem is after that, Luke Getsy sometimes cannot adjust to the flow of the game, and he doesn't have a lot of options to go to after that first opening drive. So definitely have to start being better after that opening drive, especially against an elite defense like the Browns. You're not going to be scoring 28 points against them like you did against the Lions if you're not on your game after that first drive. If Luke Getsy is not sequencing plays, that makes sense. He has to be better in that regard. And one thing I do like about this Bears offense, though, as of late, is that Justin Fields has definitely gone back to using his legs a lot, which should be part of the game, okay? I know that Justin Fields still, is growing as a passer, is getting better and better. Like this year, he actually has the best passing stats per game he has ever had in his career, but the running aspect of his game should never have been completely wiped out from the playbook. In the early part of the season, Justin Fields was not running at all, but he is the most dangerous runner at the quarterback spot, and if he's only average as a passer, that can win you a lot of games in this league with how good he is as a runner, with how defenses have to respect him as a runner. So Fields is going to continue to run probably throughout the rest of the season. He has 221 rushing yards in the last 3 games. And yes, I still want to see him continue to grow as a passer, but the running definitely should be a part of his game, a part of this Bears offense with how special he is as an athlete. And talking about the Bears O-line, they definitely seem to be getting better and better every single week. Last week, Darnold Wright allowed only 1 quarterback hit the entire game. Braxton Jones also had a pretty decent game aside for a few bad snaps. And throughout this entire season, Tevin Jenkins has been one of the best guards in football. Nate Davis also at times has been pretty good. So I want to see how this, pretty good Bears offensive line right now can match up against an elite Browns defensive line. Because if they have an even average performance in this game, again, I would be pretty impressed with how good this Browns defensive line actually is. And Justin Fields also is going to have to help them out because he definitely cannot hold on to the football as long as he did in that last game against the Lions at times against this Browns pass rush. They're going to get home to him pretty quickly. So Luke Getsy has to, design plays that get the ball out of Justin Fields' hands fast, and Justin Fields has to be a little bit quicker in processing the defense and getting the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker. He's going to have to do those things if he wants a chance against the stacked Browns defense. But lastly, talking about the Bears defense, They rank number 23 in points scored per game, number 12 in yards gained per game, number 23 pass defense, number 2 run defense. But don't pay attention to these stats too much because these are season long stats, and the Bears defense in the second half of the season has been a much better defense than they were in the first half of the season. Okay, after acquiring Montez Sweat, they have basically been a top 5 defense according to many defensive categories, which I still cannot believe how that even happened. Okay, acquiring Montez Sweat has completely changed our pass rush, our secondary becoming healthy also has, really enabled this Bears defense to be truly elite as of late. And in the last 3 games, the Bears have 11 turnovers forced. Okay, 11 turnovers in 3 games is an absolutely insane number. We have not seen numbers like that since 2018. So everybody on this Bears defense right now is playing together. They're getting their hands on the football. They're making it go the other way. And we still have a little bit too many dropped interceptions. I feel like I want to see more of them being converted into interceptions. But you can't complain, getting 11 turnovers on defense in 3 games. That's an absolutely insane number. And, Eberflus has definitely turned up the pressure in this scheme. Early on in his coaching career with the Colts and other teams, like his scheme never really blitzed that much, but credit to Eberflus because he has changed his scheme into being a little bit more blitz heavy, a little bit more aggressive because he realized that, we weren't getting home only sending 4. I mean, now we kind of are, but before we weren't really getting home only sending 4. So like on third down, he has a lot of pressure packages that are actually getting home to the quarterback and confusing quarterbacks at the line of scrimmage. And, again, the secondary has been completely locked down, especially the last month or so. Okay, Jalen Johnson is right now graded as the best cornerback in football in coverage according to PFF. We have Tarek Stevenson getting better and better every single week slowly. We have Kyler Gordon taking a massive year 2 jump and becoming one of the better nickel cornerbacks in football this year. So just so much positivity right now in the Bears defense, and I hope they really continue on this path the rest of the season. But now it's time for my 3 keys to Bears victory. How can the Chicago Bears actually win this game, get the upset against the Browns? It wouldn't be a massive upset. The Browns are only favored actually by 3 points because the odds makers realize that Browns have a lot of injuries and the Bears have been playing really good football as of late. But key number 1 is going to be to dominate inferior offensive line talent if you are the Chicago Bears pass rush. Okay, there should be no excuses for the Bears pass rush in this game. With how good they have been, you have to get home to the quarterback. You have to hit Joe Flacco multiple times and rattle him early on in this game because they have 3rd string offensive tackles out there. Okay, so Montez Sweat should definitely be able to get home to the quarterback to get at least 1 sack. On the other side, we did lose Yannick Ngakoue for the season, so that's a big injury obviously, but we have DeMarcus Walker here who, DeMarcus Walker's had a couple nice moments with the Bears. Rasheem Green has not really been a great pass rusher, but maybe he also gets home with Browns having backups out there. Like, don't make the backups look better than they actually are. They are backups for a reason, and if you are the Bears defense, you have to get home to the quarterback early and often. Key number 2 that's going to be to stay out of 3rd and longs if you are Justin Fields and the Bears offense. It's going to be an absolutely crucial key, especially in this game with how elite the Browns pass rush is. Okay, if you can stay in 3rd and shorts, 3rd and 5s, even 3rd and 6, just don't get into those 3rd and longs like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. You're going to have a much better chance of keeping Justin Fields upright in this game. Okay, when the opposing pass rushers like Myles Garrett can just beeline to the quarterback when we have to go downfield and hold the ball a little bit longer, like that's when they really make their money as pass rushers. So stay out of 3rd and longs. Run the ball well on 1st and 2nd down. Be efficient as a passer on 1st and 2nd down so you won't have to be in those 3rd and long situations. And finally, key number 3 is going to be to have flawless execution in the red zone. Okay, the Bears have been not as good in the red zone this year as they were last year. Okay, last year the Bears actually were one of the better red zone offenses in terms of turning red zone opportunities into touchdowns, but this year it has not been the same story. But against an elite Browns defense, whenever you do get into the red zone, you have to come out there at some point with a touchdown. Okay, field goals alone are probably not going to win you this game. So I want to see better execution in the red zone from Justin Fields, getting the ball out quicker, being more accurate with his throws, and also better play calling from Luke Getsy in the red zone as well. And finally, it's time for my score prediction. Who do I have winning this matchup? And guys, I have the Chicago Bears going to Cleveland and coming out of there with a win by the score of 17-15. I think it's going to be an ugly, gross, low-scoring game, but I do have the Chicago Bears coming out on top, especially because of the Browns injuries. Okay, I think the Bears dodged a bullet with all these Browns injuries with their backup tackles in here. Like, I do think our defense is gonna feast on Joe Flacco in this game. Like, there's gonna be multiple sacks, there's gonna be multiple quarterback hits because Joe Flacco is not a mobile quarterback, right? So being a sitting duck back there against backup level tackles, like, probably is not going to be the best formula for the Browns offense. I do think they score, at least 2 touchdowns though, because Kevin Stefanski is a pretty elite offensive coach, so he's going to find a way probably to get the ball into the end zone. But I think the Bears do just enough on offense to sneak by with a victory on the road. I don't think Justin Fields is going to have a great stat line because we should not be expecting that, okay? This is the #1 pass defense in the NFL. So Justin Fields probably is going to turn the ball over at least once, and maybe at times he's going to be sacked. Like, I think there's a potential to get sacked 3-4 times in this game with how good their pass rush is. But if you can just do enough to sneak by, make the right play at the right time, okay, a big explosive run here or a big touchdown down the field there, like, that could win the Chicago Bears the game. We don't need a lot from our offense probably to win this game. So I do think the Bears are going to sneak by in a victory because they have a new energy right now on their team, which is really, turning into victories as of late. As for my offense MVP of this game, I gotta go with Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet gets a touchdown catch late in this game to win the Chicago Bears the game. I think it's gonna be big. Also blocking, helping out against guys like Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith. So Cole Kmet for offense MVP. Defense MVP, I gotta go with Montez Sweat. Who else? Okay, going up against a third string tackle, he should hopefully have at least 1 sack. I'm predicting 2 sacks for Montez Sweat. Leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in this game. I cannot believe how the season has flipped to the point where I'm picking the Bears to win against the Cleveland Browns, but it is certainly possible, okay, with all these injuries, with how good the Bears are playing on defense especially, and with Justin Fields back and making big time plays with his arm and his legs. It's definitely possible to beat the Browns. And if the Bears actually win this game, we will be firmly in the playoff mix, okay? Because after that, we got the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. It could all come down to the last week in Lambeau Field against Green Bay if the Bears do want to make it in. So I am praying for that opportunity, even though I would be so scared for that game. I want the Bears to have that chance because that would be so damn fun. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.